Yet more layoffs at AFFCO today, but real confusion about how many jobs, who they are and why. What we can confirm is that they are Rangiuru workers. That's the works just outside Te Puke, of course, in the Bay of Plenty. We called AFFCO and they were unable to tell us how many workers have gone, despite telling the workers themselves last week. AFFCO declined an interview with us and they declined the invitation to provide any further information. The Meat Workers Union says around 100 members, some with 35 to 45 years unblemished service, that's a quote, have been laid off. To repeat, the company won't confirm that number or the circumstances. Roberta Rattu is the union shed's secretary at Rangiuru and one of the workers going. I spoke to her a short time ago about what happened on Friday when the workers learned they were being laid off.
Friday, our members went to work on their normal shift and they were told they would not be no longer employed. They were on a seasonal layoff.
So so you were told on Friday you were on a seasonal layoff commencing today?
Yes.
How many of you roughly, Bertie?
Roughly, I'd say around 250 people were laid off.
Okay, and were you given advance notice that this was going to happen? You're a union delegate, right?
Yes, I'm their shared official, their shared secretary, the plant shared secretary.
Okay, and were you given advance notice that this was going to happen?
Well, I'm supposed to get advance notice. A verbal notice was given to one of the members on Wednesday. It's supposed to be 5 days calendar notice, and if it starts on a Wednesday, they have to be given notice at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm the only shared official out there, and I was given no such notice.
Were you given a list of the people who were losing their jobs?
No. We asked. The delegates asked. I asked myself if I could have a list of who was being laid off, and I was declined a list.
Have you been given an explanation? Is this a typical seasonal layoff? Does this happen at this time every year, more or less?
Well, we did have it. We did have a layoff last year around about the same time, and yes, it was a seasonal layoff. I asked our production manager if this was a seasonal layoff, and I was told, no, it's an intra-seasonal layoff.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. I have never used that term before.
So this has never happened to you before?
Not this intra-seasonal layoff, as he so-called called it.
And so what's your future now, Bertie? Do you have work? Do you know when the intra-seasonal layoff finishes and when you can go back to work?
No, we had no explanation. No, nothing. We were just told we were being laid off, sign your termination forms, and that was it.
Bertie, you had previously, in November of last year, won a case at the employment court, right? So you had previously been fired. The employment court said that AFFCO behaved in bad faith, and you had returned to your job as a result of the employment court decision. When did you return to your job?
I returned a week ago, barely a week ago.
So you won a case at the employment court, you got your job back. A week after getting your job back, you're laid off again.
I was laid off, yep.
What do you make of this, Bertie?
Bollocks, mate. I make of it utter bollocks. There's we actually won a season. A seniority case in the courts, where if we have seniority, all things being equal, layoffs and re-employment will be based on your department and shared seniority. We've got workers who are laid off with 45 years, loyal, hard-working workers, and the company laid them off on Friday.
Told them on Friday they were going, and their jobs are gone on Monday.
Yep. We've got workers who started 45 days ago. They're still employed out there. Now, it's not those workers' fault this is happening. We've got skilled and experienced butchers, labourers, told Friday, your season's come to an end. Thank you, goodbye. And we've got workers out there with no or little experience who still kept their jobs.
Bertie, what's the union split? The skilled and experienced and long-serving workers, are they mostly union members, the people who are being laid off?
Yes, the whole lot. The whole lot are.
And the people who are being retained, the new and less experienced ones, are they union members or not?
No, they're not. They're on the company's individual employment agreement. Now, for them to be on that agreement, they have to sign the terms and conditions that the company wants, otherwise they won't have a job. Lots of them want to be in our union, but we haven't got a contract to offer them. We're still in negotiations for a new contract.
That's Roberta Rattu, who has lost her job as also the Shed Secretary at Rangiuru. We've tried desperately to confirm what Bertie has said with AFFCO, or they could contradict it if they're so inclined, but they have declined our invitation for an interview.